Hey guys, today we're translating and solving word problems with variables on both sides. As always, if you have a word problem, of course you need to read the problem first. Second, decide where to put the equal sign. Third, write an equation that models the problem. And fourth, solve for the variable. Here's our first one. We're going to start out pretty easy. We have 3 times a number is equal to 36 less than 5 times the same number. 3 times a number is equal to 36 less than 5 times the same number. Now, see how I turned that around to 5x minus 36? Because it says less than, it implies taking it away from the 5x. Now we want to balance, so I'm going to take from the side that has more terms. So 3x equals, oh no, not 3x, Mrs. Kiesler. Negative 2x, rather, equals negative 36. Divide by negative 2. And remember, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so our answer is positive 18. Okay, let's take a look at another. 15 more than 1/3 of a number is equal to 12 less than 4/3 of the same number. 15 more implies adding the 15 to the 1/3. And 12 less implies subtracting the 12 from the 4/3. So now we have like denominators, which makes this easy. We want to balance. I'm going to take the 1/3 x away from both sides. So 15 equals 4 minus 1, which is 3 over 3, which is just x, because it's 1x minus 12. Add 12 to both sides, and x equals 27. Okay, piece of cake. Let's try another one. Let's make it a little harder. So Emily's great aunt Grace is 6 times her age. So remember when we did these last week, we first need to list. And her great aunt Grace is 6 times her age. So Emily is x, and her aunt is 6x. If you subtract 28 from Aunt Grace's age and add 11 to 3 times Emily's age, their ages are the same. So again, if you subtract 28 from her aunt's age and add 11 to 3 times Emily's age, their ages are the same. So now we can solve. So 3x minus 28 equals 11. Add the 28. And 3x equals 39. Then divide by 3. And x equals 13. So that means Emily is 13. And remember from the original sentence, her great aunt Grace is 6 times her age. So her aunt is 13 times 6, which winds up being 78. Done. All right, let's see another one like that. Julia's savings account is 1.5 times greater than Jacob's. If you add 485 to Jacob's account and subtract 115 from Julia's, their balances are the same. How much money is in each of their accounts? Okay, so same thing. First, we want to list Julia and Jacob. And from that first sentence, it says that Julia's account is 1.5 times greater than Jacob's. So Jacob's is x and Julia's is 1.5x. Remember, if you read 1.5, it's 1.5. Then if you add 485 to Jacob's and subtract 115 from Julia's, their balances are the same. There we go. So I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides. So 485 equals a half x minus 115. Add the 115. So a half x equals 600. Divide by a half. Divide by a half. And keep in mind, when you're dividing by a half, you're actually doubling the answer. You're not cutting it in half. When you divide by 2, you double it. When you divide by 2, you cut it in half. When you divide by a half, you double it. Think of it this way. There are 2 sets of 50 cents and $1. So $1 divided by 50 cents is 2. $2 divided by 50 cents is 4. It doubles the answer. which means 600 divided by a half is 1,200. So Jacob has $1,200. And Julia has 1.5 times that, which is 1,800. And I know that because half of 1,200 is 600 added to itself is 1,800. All right, let's continue with that theme. Okay, 2/5 the difference of a number and 30 is equal to 8 more the same number. 2/5, remember we talked about the difference in sum, that's when you need parentheses. The difference of a number and 30 is equal to 8 more than the same number. Just like that. Remember, less than means you're subtracting the number from, more than means you're adding the number to. Distribute the 2/5. So 2/5 n minus, use my trick, 30 divided by 5 is 6, times 2 is 12. Subtract 2/5. You can tell that I'm avoiding having negatives here by subtracting the smaller number, which this is going to make this 5/5. And 5/5 minus 2/5 is 3/5. Then subtract the 8. So negative 20 equals 3 over 5 times n. Now we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And we get n equals 5 times negative 20 is negative 100 over 3. Okay, and remember we always want an exact answer, so that answer works. As far as what that would go into it, well, 3 goes into 100 33 times because that's 99. So it's negative 33 and 1/3. So either answer is correct. They are both exact. All right, next one. Find two consecutive integers such that the larger is 9 more than twice the smaller. Going back to our consecutive integers. It doesn't say even or odd, so it's just x and x plus 1. Such that the larger is 9 more than twice the smaller. So the larger would be x plus 1 is 9 more than twice the smaller, 2x plus 9. Okay, subtract x from both sides. So 1 equals x plus 9. Subtract 9 from both sides. So x equals negative 8, which makes our integers negative 8 and negative 7. Be careful when you add 1, you're getting closer to 0, not further away from 0. All right, let's see what we got next. Consecutive odd this time. So 3 consecutive odd integers such that 8 more than the sum of the first two is equal to 11 less than 3 times the third. Ooh. So x plus 2, and x plus 4. Remember, even and odd numbers are always 2 apart. Such that 8 more than the sum of the first two. So that would be 2x plus 2 plus 8 is equal to 11 less than 3 times the third. So 3 times the entire third minus 11. Okay, make this easier. 2x plus 10 equals 3x plus 12 minus 11 by distributing and combining like terms. So 2x plus 10 equals 3x plus 1. Again, combining like terms. Subtract 2x. So 10 equals x plus 1. Subtract 1. So x equals 9, which luckily we got an odd number. It says odd, so we should wind up with an odd number. And our answers then would be 9, 11, and 13. All right, let's see what we got next. Lewis's report card is made of 4 consecutive even grades. Half the sum of the first 3 grades exceeds the fourth by 41. Find his grades. 4 consecutive even grades. So that's x plus 2, x plus 4, and x plus 6. Half the sum of the first 3, that's half of 3x plus 6, exceeds the fourth by 41. So is equal to the fourth plus 41. Tricky. All right, but let's go with it. All right, so we have 3 over 2x plus 3 equals x plus 47. Then I can subtract x from both sides, which is like 2 over 2. So this is 1/2 x plus 3 equals 47. Then I can subtract 3. So 1/2 x equals 44. And then I multiply by the reciprocal. So x equals 88. Which we're talking about grades, that seems like a pretty decent grade. So we now have 4 even grades, 88, 90, 92, and 94. All right, so we've done a lot of problems. We are done for today. You guys can now go on to your assignment and let me know if you need any help. Good luck.